For the purpose of this video, we're going to pretend that all of crypto isn't a scam, because I live in a world where 99% of it is. It's bad faith actors selling speculative assets, making value out of nothing, pretending it somehow has real world good, while actually hoping a greater fool comes along to buy it at a higher price at the bottom of the pyramid so the people at the top of the pyramid can sell it and make money from them. That, to me, that doesn't seem like a good thing, but we're going to ignore that and not act like every single crypto is a scam, so we can talk about today's drama, which is about Logan Paul and, of course, his cryptocurrency that he made, CryptoZoo. He's the majority owner in it, and it was exposed a couple weeks ago by CoffeeZilla to be an alleged scam in a 3-part docuseries. Now, you can go check that out, but we are talking today about the update, which is Logan Paul's response to CoffeeZilla. Now, before we jump into the actual video, I think it's important to read this tweet from Logan Paul, which says, "While I generally appreciate Steven," that's CoffeeZilla, they're close like that, "and his creative genius and exceptional work ethic," I mean that, "this one is simply not true." All right, wow, he really likes him. Creative genius and exceptional work ethic. Let's take a look at the video.
To morph from an investigator to a gossip channel. You see, CoffeeZilla tried to work with law enforcement in the past, but his work was described as not anchored to truth and often speculative. He is a lopsided journalist with an agenda, and he's nothing more than the Keemstar of crypto and finance. But
okay, wow, we went from creative genius to the Keemstar of crypto and finance, which, if you haven't picked up on yet, is an ad hominem attack, a logical fallacy, so that instead of arguing the actual points like, "Hey Logan, I think the crypto you made is kind of a scam," he's able to say, "No, the person who's arguing against me is a cringe idiot, so none of it matters, and I don't have to argue it," which happens a lot in this video and was wildly disappointing. Now, it is worth noting that this isn't Logan's first rodeo. He doesn't really bring it up in his video at all, but he's done a little bit of crypto scamming before, specifically with an NFT called Dink Doink that he was a part of, and I'm going to show you just 5 seconds of it, and I'm sorry that I'm going to show you, but watch.
On drugs, if you think.
Oh! You ready, Dink Doink? Let's do this! Incoming!
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I showed you any of that. Anyway, that's Dink Doink. Oh, it has all gone to shit. Right. Yeah, because it's a scam. Anyway, this is Logan Paul's second attempt. It's CryptoZoo. But let's actually listen to Logan Paul's real arguments against CoffeeZilla. And the first one has to do with his argument against CoffeeZilla's reporting about the actual creator of the technology of CryptoZoo.
Coffee, you interviewed the developer who stole the game
dev.
code, fled to Switzerland, and held it hostage for $1 million. Well, his name is Zach Kelling. Surely, as the internet detective that you proclaim to be, you would know that he spent time in prison for multiple felonies, one for aggravated robbery, armed robbery at a liquor store, and the other for, surprise, obstructing the legal process. I can see why you kept him anonymous.
Well, wait, to be clear, you hired this guy to develop the app. Like, that was his job. He was developing the tech. So you're making fun of CoffeeZilla for not reporting that, but you hired the guy. Also, what's wrong with hiring a felon? Sometimes they need jobs. It's a really difficult thing to get a job after being a felon.
Who we'll be calling Z here.
I guess among many things, it doesn't surprise me that he lied about having 30 engineers and a $50,000 a week burn rate.
On my end, I have 30 engineers. I'm burning $50,000 a week.
Which, side note, is how this delusionist landed on the $1 million code ransom, but it turns out he only had 3 engineers. Wouldn't someone with journalistic integrity know their credible source had not only an agenda, but a fondness for orange jumpsuits?
So, okay, we're supposed to be mad at CoffeeZilla for not knowing that this developer was a scammer and a fraudster, but shouldn't we be mad at you, Logan, for hiring this fraudster and getting millions and millions of impressions on your new technology that was being developed by a fraudster? And the hundreds of people who watch your videos to invest in a project led by a fraudster? Like, okay, fine, we can say CoffeeZilla is a bad journalist if we are also allowed to say that Logan Paul is so inept that he hired a fraudster and scammed his viewers from ineptitude, which he does kind of address.
Or did you just hear what you wanted to hear and moved on? Because even if you're lying to yourself, Steven, you still have to
keep it going.
And I know what you're thinking. What type of idiot would work with an unsavory individual like Zach Kelling?
Yep, me. I'm wondering that.
I guess that's what I get for trusting the team that I relied on to vet and manage Eddie's hiring process, who has turned out to be a professional con man that I have since learned fooled billionaires, the Mormon Church, the owner of the New York Yankees, and now me.
Did you perhaps learn that Eddie Ibanez was a con man from a video made by CoffeeZilla where he went in depth on how Eddie Ibanez was a con man. I mean, this is weirdly damning evidence on how just incredibly inept Logan Paul was in developing CryptoZoo. Not only was the developer, he hired a fraudster, he also hired a con man known as Eddie Ibanez, and then he also hired another guy named the Crypto King, who's another fraudster. Where are the competent people on your team? When do you take responsibility as the founder of the project and the person with the majority share in the product for the project failing? Like, you hired those guys. That's your fault. That's your job. Anyway, he keeps going.
And surely you knew Emilio, the gentleman who supposedly let his child invest in a cryptocurrency, was allegedly responsible for 2 rug pulls before you interviewed him. So either you missed that or you knew it and failed to let the public know.
Okay, now this has a little bit of substance, but of course, he's referring to one of the people that CoffeeZilla interviewed that were scammed by this project. He interviewed many other people as well. I mean, he interviewed this dude. He interviewed like 5, 6 people, I think, were in the video total. And of course, that's just a classic example of the cherry picking fallacy, where you take one people in the 5 to 6 people that he actually interviewed who were scammed by Logan Paul's cryptocurrency, and shows that this guy's a scammer, so you don't have to worry about the other people that were scammed. There were other people that he scammed that he interviewed, but Logan Paul just doesn't bring those people up. What about those people, Logan? All right, this dude sucks. What about the other people? Doesn't make a lot of sense, but we'll keep going.
The subject line was third request for comment.
Now, this is another thing. So his first 2 big things were, hey, the people on my team were fucking idiots. How did you not know they were even dumber than you thought? The second thing was, one of the guys you interviewed was actually a scammer. Let's ignore the other people that you interviewed that I scammed. And then the final thing, one of his other big points, is that he didn't request for comment. He should have reached out to Logan directly to request for comment. Let's just listen.
Yeah, not quite. This will be my 3rd time reaching out to you and your team. The first 2 times were through your manager, Jeff. The first 2 times were through your manager, Jeff. Okay, so the last time on Christmas Eve, after the fact, was to me. You have a funny way of twisting things. And I also noticed you left out that part on Twitter.
Okay, so his argument is that he never got reached out to comment, and that it's not enough that he reaches out to his manager, Jeff, because he is not Jeff. To which CoffeeZilla replied, oh, I also DM'd him on Instagram. Hey, Logan, I've been trying to reach people from the CryptoZoo team to get comment on the emerging story. To which Logan Paul actually replied. He replied and he said, if you expect me to see every DM that comes through from every social media gossip channel trying to make a name for themselves, you're ridiculous. Okay, that's fair. But if he does the effort of reaching out personally and then reaches out to your manager on multiple occasions, and then when he finally has enough notoriety and reaches out to you personally and you still don't respond, at what point do you take responsibility? Like where along the line are you in charge for fuck-ups? When along the line are you responsible for your own actions? If you're reached out to, all right, via personal means like Instagram and via auxiliary means like your manager, at some point it's on you. I'm getting pissed off. Anyway, the CoffeeZilla also replies and he says, no, I don't expect you to see every DM, which is why I reached out to your manager explicitly and said I was trying to reach you because I hadn't gotten a response. Yeah, this, I don't know. This whole point was crazy to me. Anyway, he continues with his next point.
Wait, you can't even hatch?
No, I'm telling you, it's just a picture.
Now, I would argue this is the strongest point. In CoffeeZilla's video, he talks about how you can't actually hatch your eggs, which were basically purchasable NFTs in the CryptoZoo world, and Logan Paul goes on to say,
you can't hatch?
You're kidding. You can't hatch?
You can't hatch?
Yeah, 1 second of research would prove that to be false, as you can definitely hatch eggs and even breed your animals.
Click on that. Oh, we got a duck.
And as you pointed out in your fine print, cross-hatching was available on ETH at one point, but you perpetuated the opposite as truth with your chest out.
Basically, nothing worked.
And by the way, guy, almost all NFTs are just pictures.
Now, I want to break apart that last comment right there. By the way, guy, almost all NFTs are just pictures. Well, then why on your podcast did you say this?
I'm excited to launch my game.
You keep using and you just did it again. You keep using a word there. Game. You're not using like a project. It's a game.
It's a game. It's a really fun game that makes you money.
No. It's an assortment of JPEGs that you can open up that are all stolen from different stock image websites. That's the reality. Maybe they didn't steal them, actually. I don't know. Maybe they actually bought the stock images. Regardless, it doesn't seem like the original promise that you were promising all of your viewers, that you could make money on a really fun game. In reality, you could open JPEGs on an absolute scam where all of your money would disappear because the developer would no longer develop the product and Logan Paul wouldn't find a new developer even though he's the majority owner and the creator of it. And let's take a look at Logan Paul's next statement.
You've still managed to overlook one crucial piece of information. See, even though I've said it's coming so many times, you've assumed that CryptoZoo isn't being made. Who are you to decide when the development timeline ends?
He's not. In fact, I think he's the guy who decided when development would begin. Because I have the feeling, and maybe you guys do too, that the only reason Logan Paul has attempted to rectify the people who were scammed by investing into CryptoZoo is because of all the backlash he received after CoffeeZilla made the 3-part docuseries. To me, it kind of felt like Dink Doink was an attempt at crypto, failed, and then CryptoZoo was an attempt, it failed, and then 99 Originals, success. Ding, 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 third time's the charm. Maybe enough time passes and people stop caring that they were scammed out of their money. It's only because CoffeeZilla made the video that you actually even went into the Discord. There was a year where he didn't go into the CryptoZoo Discord to tell them like, hey, I'm going to make sure you guys actually get the value that you thought you were paying for. Instead, he just didn't do shit. He didn't do shit all. Now, I get not publicly talking about it to create more attention around a situation where there are a lot of bad faith actors, a lot of scammers, a lot of fraudsters that you ineptly hired. But why not tell the people during that year that that's the situation that you're in? If anything, CoffeeZilla did a lot of good. Now, the only thing that kind of scares me about this is if we look at the date, he went in here December 31st, and you'll notice that the price of CryptoZoo skyrocketed since then, which is insane. This is all speculation that the project will come back, and it tanked today because people thought he wasn't going to post because it took so long. He said he was going to reply on January 3rd, and then finally when the video came out, well, it looks like the market didn't love the video. They didn't hate it. They just didn't like it as much as they speculatively thought they would. And the only other thing to note is he, at the same time, threatens to sue CoffeeZilla and then in the same breath also invites him on his podcast. But here's my version of the truth. Here's what I actually think happened. This was Logan Paul's attempt at making a cryptocurrency. And originally, I thought this man was motivated by purely greed because we saw the text conversations that were leaked between him and Jake the Crypto King that went like this. We'll just pull it up right now.
Because Crypto King was acting very strange. He says, we created $40 million out of thin air. This is a success. Logan replies, this nonchalance worries me. F 40 million. It was at 120 million, which again, it's all about the money with these.
Now, I thought that was because of pure greed, but I'm now realizing that Logan Paul isn't a guy motivated by pure greed because he could have sold what he had in CryptoZoo to make a bit of money, but he didn't because I think he wanted a much larger amount of money and there's no point in taking a public hit for making a little amount of money. I now realize he's just like the most narcissistic human I've ever seen online. He just truly thinks he's that guy. He thinks he can do anything he wants, like create $120 million out of nothing. And he also thinks if that fails and a bunch of people are scammed, he can also just do nothing because it's not his fault. It's not his responsibility, even though he created the coin and he's the majority shareholder and he's the only reason that anybody knew about the coin in the first place. He's just a total narcissist, which is rich to say coming from a streamer who hits go live every day and expects people to show up. And at one point in my life, I got sad when there were 15,000 people watching instead of 20,000. But it should also show you that even me, a guy who is narcissistic, knows when another guy is narcissistic. And the problem is not just being a narcissist, it's being a narcissist, not taking accountability, and also using your narcissism to take on projects that you are too fucking dumb to actually do. I know where the line is. I know when I get too stupid, I would not attempt to create $120 million of value with a team of fraudsters so bad and so illegal they could get a Zack Snyder cut. But that's what Logan Paul did. And I'm just going to end it on something that kind of seals that story for me.
Logan replies, "Oh, Jake, trust me, bro. I am that guy."
Like that, come on. That's got to be a little, right? Isn't that like the most narcissistic message you can send it? Anyway, that's all. That's the update. I honestly was truly disappointed by this. I was kind of one of the people who were excited by Logan Paul's comeback, and I thought he was making really good content. But I think he doesn't know where his ambition ends and his abilities begin. And that's a tough pill for anyone to swallow. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. All right, see you later. Goodbye. Have a good one. See you later now. Goodbye. See you later.